Good morning, everyone. It's Friday and we've made it, and I'm really chuffed for that. But I realised that I wasn't on here yesterday. That was partly through choice. I just felt really, not in the zone for it. And also, Bridgerton season 4 started. I just started and then couldn't stop. But I just wanted a quick update. So, as you know, I'm just documenting different parts of my journey here. One good thing is I still haven't caught up from the psychiatrist meeting last week. Basically, what happened was she sort of said the same as the neurologists that it's a long journey. It is a journey that can result in sort of going into some sort of submission for some people, but not everybody. But the idea is to identify triggers, and then there are methods that sort of work around that. I had the option to have a face-to-face therapy or like one-to-one therapy, or group therapy. Now, group therapy is 3 to 6 months waiting list, and one-to-one sessions are a year waiting list. So although I would prefer to have a one-to-one, I'm going to go for group because I feel silly not trying it. I have tried a group therapy before and I actually really liked it. So, this could be the same. There's no reason why it wouldn't be. They are FND specialists, so that's good. So I'm kind of waiting that. I haven't heard back from my neurologist about seeing him in a clinic yet, but I think that's part of the pathway and it will all come about. A little update in life. So I've been feeling really present, and I know this sounds really stupid, but with my anxiety, being present isn't actually something that I do very often. And it wasn't an obvious thing. It's not like I suddenly thought, oh, I'm really present. It kind of dawned on me during a conversation, which again doesn't sound very present, but maybe it's not most people's form of being present and being there in a conversation, but it was mine. So I've realised that especially in one-to-one conversations, which is where I've tended to struggle really focusing, not because I'm not interested, because I absolutely am, but it's where I tend to have a trigger. So a conversation will happen, something will be said in that, and then I'll flash back or flash forward because it's triggered a thought in my head that's then gone crazy. Anyway, so I basically realised that this wasn't happening all the time, and the only time that I was actually recalling moments in my head, I was recalling them. I wasn't projecting, which is what I do. I project negatively forward and backwards, but I was recalling moments during conversation because I was recalling them to talk about them. I wasn't recalling them to feel bad or to have a negative vibe from it, or my mind wasn't going off on a tangent about that time that someone said that to me and this is how I felt. It wasn't like that. It was just because I needed it to talk about at that time. And I can't tell you how awesome that feels. It's just happened. I've only realised it the last maybe 3 days, 4 days, but I am present in conversations, and I feel really good about that. I think it's come down to a couple of things. That one of them is that I physically stop. I can't remember, again, this has been another realisation just this week. I can't remember when I choose to stop. I know I've walked and said I'm stopping, but I realised that it wasn't something that I ever chose to do. I did because of something. I stopped working because the day had ended. I stopped I stopped because I was ill. I stopped because I was hurting. I stopped because someone gave me permission to. That actually has happened before. So more than once in things that don't need permission from other people to tell me to stop. One example is, which I was talking about just today, is when I came off maternity leave. I knew I didn't want to go back to work. I didn't have to. I wanted to stay at home with my baby, and I went into work and spoke to my boss, who was lovely, and she said, "You've just come in for permission, but you don't need it." And I was like, maybe then. She's like, "You don't need You come here for permission. You don't need permission, so just do what you want to do, kind of thing. So this has been going on a long, long time, and I know some people watching this who know me are like, that's so obvious, but it wasn't to me. Now it feels a bit more obvious, and now I feel in a bit more control. So I'm feeling really good about that. I'm actually choosing. I'm not just going with the flow. I feel like I'm choosing a hot drink because I want a hot drink. I'm one of those who says, someone says to me, do you want a hot or cold drink? I'm like, oh, whatever you're having, because I don't want to be a bother. I'm choosing a cup of tea if I want a cup of tea or a glass of water or both, but it's my choice. And I feel like that slowed everything down. So as a result of having things chosen for me and having to stop because of other people's ideas of what I should be, in some respects they were right, but actually it's really helping me to learn a lot of things. So yeah, psychiatrist meeting went well. I had a brand new type of seizure. I can't remember if I've mentioned that or not, for the first time and the only time since then. That was last Tuesday, and I'm feeling like I can feel when one's coming on a lot earlier in the day as well. There's definitely a vibe there. Otherwise, I just feel really aware, but in a good way. And I'm really quite chuffed with that because awareness is growth for me, and I feel like it's calming all the river of anxiety that flows behind me all the day long. So it's a long video, but I feel that it's needing to be documented. That's where I'm at today. I'm present, I'm aware, and that's it, that's fine. I'm choosing my tea.